Hey everybody, it's Kenny K here again, and I am here with Sam the cat, Chica the dog, and I am reviewing one that I actually should have reviewed a long time ago. Um, because the first time I saw this movie, I thought it was really dull, nothing happened, and now with a second watch, a lot more people died. Uh, It's like I was watching a completely different movie. The Final Terror from 1983. It gets a 5.2, and I'm really giving a 5.5 now. Directed by Andrew Davis, and you've got a few of the horror alumni. You've got Rachel Ward, who I believe is in night school as a killer, and then Daryl Hannah. Now, Daryl Hannah, I can't. She's the. I believe she's the. She plays in The Hitcher. One of the. She works in a diner. Yeah, she gets pulled apart by two semis. Um, Rachel Ward plays Margaret. Night school, yeah. Oh yeah, and Daryl Hannah. I'm forgetting so much about Daryl Hannah. I'm actually saying one of her first roles in The Hitcher. No, she played Kill Bill 2. Elle Driver. You get this. You know the song, right? It's that I didn't even know that. All right, look at that. So the other one plays Margaret. She plays Wendy. You've got this ex-military guy called Zork. You've got Cerrone, a Boone. These are all campers. These are what are these people? Uh, these are actually they camp out locations, and if these locations are safe, then they put them on a like a wooden board to be a safe and legit camping ground. But they have to know like yeah, what kind of livestock, what kind of animals are there, bears, mountain lions and all that shit, dangerous rock work. You also have Hikes and Vanessa, and then you have Edgar, the bus driver, and Edgar, and then Mike. He's the head instructor. He leads the pack, but I think Windy. Let me see. Let me see. Oh no, sorry, Melanie. She leads the female pack. Yeah. Now, okay. So there's already this weird thing going on with these. I first when the movie started, I thought, okay, I'm looking at campers, a camper killer movie like Camp Crystal Lake, sleepaway camp. No, these are instructors. These are all already instructors, but they're actually this kind of this. They're instructors. They go on the field, scout out maps, but they said at some point they wanted to scout out. I don't know something with Bear River, but Mike turned it over and went to something. I think something called with Milk Cliff or something. And Edgar, the driver, says, "You shouldn't go there. You shouldn't go there." He looks like a little bit retarded or something, or he's wanting to fight everybody again. He's choking them. He's hitting them with fucking baseball bats. And Mike, he's constantly in a discussion with Mike. They almost fight. And he says, "Your job is just to drive the bus and get those kayaks where we need them." Got it? And he's okay. Got it. So, for some reason, Edgar does not want you to go to that area. It's dangerous, he says. It's uncharted. A few women were killed there. He says, I think he's at this point just spitting out bullshit. So these people all go there. You've got the women group. You got them. They go there. You would think there's a lot of sex. There's only one sex scene, and that's it. That's between Mike and Melanie, two head counselors, and they get killed. In a cool way, there's this like like a soldier that's in camouflage with this what what that blade, it would look weird. It looked weird. It looked like a blade, and you hold like this, and it goes around your knuckles, and he slashes him up, and she's underneath him, and he's got like so that was a cool kill. A spoiler, sorry, I know, but from now, spoiler. So what you know is that they go to this site where Edgar didn't want to go. They go, and eventually, what Edgar does is he is getting in fights with these guys, especially with this guy Zorik, because he was an ex-military. He fought in Vietnam. You know, he says that's why the Viet Cong won, because of the bushes. We weren't prepared by the bushes, which is actually a pretty true statement. But he's yeah, he's wacko. He's wacko, and because there is a moment when him and host, I think his name is Boone, the black guy, he wants to go and look for some weed because there's a lot of these weed patches there, and they ask Cerrone to do this oh sound every 45 minutes. If nobody hears that, then they know they have to get the fuck out. Why? Because they say we had one time we had this crazy hippie with an M16 shooting at us. Now, what's wrong with that acknowledgement? First of all, a hippie shooting a M16 assault rifle, which was the weapon of choice of the Marines, which was the weapon of choice in Vietnam. A hippie who was against the war spit in the faces of the soldiers that came back from the war. And a hippie, usually if he's growing grass, he shares. No, this was apparently a crazy hippie with an M16. That was so stupid. That was so stupid. I analyzed that a little bit too hard, I guess, but that's stupid. But in any case, the day the Edgar leaves because he's angry, goes to the bus, and everybody just yells, "You be there when we need the boats, you piece of shit!" And then he drives away. And then, like I said, the morning, Mike and Melanie are having sex. They get killed. Um, yeah, and I believe he chops his head off. And then later on, when they go look, they find his head on this rock. It was pretty macabre. Macabre. Yeah, macabre. And then there's the because the movie starts out with two kills, one who gets a stake through his body and one you didn't see, and I really want to see that because that was this like two sticks coming together with all of these uh, from tin cans, the opening bits that are sharp, and all, you know, just going right to her, through her. I mean, that would have been a gory kill. We got a lot of kills. He got a few. He got, I believe, um, Zord gets killed. Um, Somebody, oh yeah, Melanie gets killed. She gets taken hostage first because there's a little shack there, and there are things of Edgar lying there, like his cap and other things, and they think it's Edgar who's doing the killing. So they're making him the red herring. But I knew it was too early, and I actually thought it was him because the first time I saw him, yeah, it's Edgar. Yeah, right. It was the half retarded, angry bus driver. But no, 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 no. It's not him. He's involved in it though, but he is basically trying to warn them. That was his job, warning them, keeping them out of that place. So at some point, they find boats, they go up the river, and like I said, if Melanie's body falls
Listen,
down, they try to
you
make
people want to
a
survive
trap.
this thing. You gotta
Zord
start looking
dies.
and
He
thinking.
gets
That's
slashed
forced.
open by. So what happens is Cerrone is yelling, Edgar, come here, Edgar. I need to talk to you. And then he takes a rope around his neck, not knowing if he wants to kill him. He's saying, you're awful loud, you idiot. And he wants to pull him back. I'm guessing he didn't really want to kill him and just get him the hell out of there because. But they all were dressed in camouflage, attacked him, and started to beat him up good. But then, when they didn't know it, Zurich was getting attacked above by this wild thing that's. Oh! And then you see him falling to his death. And then you see the wild thing, which seems to be a woman. And Edgar says, no, mom. Apparently, it was his mom, a feral mom who lived in the escape. There was a mental institution when they passed by, when they went to the locations. And he said, and he knew his mom was there. He knew his mom was living in that shack, killing people. And he said, no, mom, no. When he was bleeding like hell, even then he wanted to help these pieces of shit. And eventually she gets trapped in a tripwire. She gets the lock, with all the spikes straight to her body, and she dangles like this. Uh, it's you know, Edgar was never the killer. It's the mom was a killer, and it's kind of a sad story. I actually thought I felt for Edgar. I really do. I really do. Not only for his mom. I mean, she clearly had to go to jail or an asylum or something, but she could have been helped. And also, I didn't understand why she kept Melanie. Where she took off the head of Mike. She kept her alive for so long. She really kept her because they went to the lodge again, and she was under the boards, and she was doing like this and caressing her hair. She was really nice to her. And then when she went with her out of the lodge, she just had a rope around her wrists, but she didn't have tape. She was just following her. It looked like she trusted her, but apparently. But Edgar was the one that I really felt the most sorry for. He had a feral, fucking fucked up mom who was apparently killing in this specific area called the Milk Cave or something. And Edgar was just saying, "Listen, it's dangerous, this and this and that." Nobody wanted to listen because nobody respected him, and that's what you get for not respecting Edgar. So the movie really, what the movie uh, does great is the use of the forest. When they're in these kayaks, these forests or these trees with leaves are everywhere, and the killer is basically in camouflage. It can be everywhere. It can be there. It can be there. It can be there. It can be there. It can be everywhere. The killer is pure camouflaged, and you see that the killer is following them because you see footsteps. You see with the body of Melanie that she drops it on the boat. You see a lot of these things, you know. Once one gets attacked by the killer, sliced, but she survives. So she's clearly following them, and she's using the forest as a way of, camouflage. And I like that. It was a good atmosphere. There was a bit of tension, and the characters, although all dickheads, not all dickheads, but like Zurich was a because he when he when they said, okay, this is the place, so he said, this is the place where we're gonna attack. That was a good place. It was an open place, but you could use wood and this and this and that. But he took shrooms that he found, so he was high as a kite. Boone was a good character. Cerrone was a good character. Margaret, Windy, they were all good characters. Mike, I did not like because he just didn't want to listen. Really, he just wanted to fuck his girlfriend, Melanie. It's um, but Edgar, I liked. I liked him. He was actually a badass when he was even when everybody was hitting him and trying. He was still keeping. He thought, piece of shit. I kick you in the balls, you piece. You know what I mean? It was, well. So character development was pretty good. I mean, you have two extremely well actresses, Rachel Ward and Daryl Hannah. Need I say more? And you got a great. Okay, forced horror movies are a thing that has been done along, many times, but I feel that this one sort of stands out because they know they kind of know the forests. I mean, they know, okay, they're survivalists and they have to mark the camp, so they know how to handle everything, like the boats. And that's what I like, them making those traps to kill the killer. That's what I like. So yeah, definitely worth a watch. There's also a good soundtrack in there. So the Final Terror from 1983. I think it can be it may be available on YouTube. I'm not sure, but in any case, give it a watch. It's a recommendation. Subscribe for more horror fun. See you later, guys.